Let's try another activity in our investigation of the sum of the interior angles of any triangle. This activity is called Rip It Off. It's a very fun activity. You can do it with your whole class. It also acts as a review of the vocabulary of classifying the triangles by their sides and by their angles. So for this activity, you need a piece of paper, a straight edge, and a pair of scissors. So you might want to pause the video and go get those items so you can do this along with the video. Alright, so what you want to do is take a sheet of paper and make it fairly large so you can work with this triangle. So I would usually use like a half sheet of paper. You can use a full sheet if you want, but not smaller than a half sheet of paper. Draw a triangle. Make it pretty large to fill up that half sheet of paper. After you draw your triangle, classify your triangle by its angles and by its sides. Then label the angles in the triangle A, B, and C. I have an example of a triangle here, but your triangle could look like any triangle. And then after you label those angles, and you've classified it by its sides and its angles, cut out the triangle. This is a great activity to do with your entire class. If you can imagine 20 to 30 students, all with a half sheet of construction paper, drawing a triangle, using a straight edge, classifying the triangle by its angles and its sides, labeling the angles A, B, and C, and cutting out the triangle. Then you can do a review activity where you can say, who drew an acute triangle, and have all of those students raise their triangle up in the air. Or you can have them move to sides of the room. But you want to check, did they really make the type of triangle that they said they made? Or you could say, who made an isosceles triangle or a right triangle? And again, you're practicing the vocabulary on classifying the triangle by its sides and by its angles. And you're also noticing that you have a variety of triangles. After you do that review activity, take that triangle and tear off the three angles with their labels intact. It's important that you tear the angles instead of cut them so you can preserve which one is the interior angle and you have it labeled. So put the angles together and tape them to a line so that the three vertices meet at one point. What can you say about the sum of the measures of the triangle's interior angles? When you're doing this activity in a classroom, you'll need to walk around the room and make sure the students are understanding what you mean by laying the angles in a line. It is much easier if they've labeled them, right? As discussed before in the previous part of the activity. So this is what it should look like. Your original triangle, then you tore off the edges, and then you placed them on a line. And what do you notice? Students should notice, oh, it made a straight line, and that will remind them that a straight line is 180 degrees, so because it forms a straight angle. And so the sum of the interior angle measures of any triangle must be 180 degrees. Are you convinced yet? I'm not sure if you're fully convinced that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Would this method work for all triangles? Well, if you're doing it in a classroom, hopefully you have all the types of triangles represented. Is this really a proof? Probably not. It's probably not a formal proof, but it is a wonderful interactive way for students to investigate this idea. Students will remember this for a long time. Thanks for watching. We have one more way to investigate the interior angles of a triangle, so watch part 3. Thanks for watching.